First take back here at Jets camp, and our next guest, all he did was lead the NFL in TD receptions and rack up more than 1,500 yards. All-pro receiver Brandon Marshall, friend of the show.
How you guys doing?
How are we doing? Thanks for being with us.
Thanks for having me. Congrats.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it.
What's up, big guy?
What's up, man? How you doing, man?
Hey, listen, I think you're a low-key Jets fan.
Oh.
Really? Listen,
Yeah.
don't you ever say those things. I mean, I got love for the Jets. I'll admit it. I got love for the. I'm a lifelong Pittsburgh Steelers fan.
Really?
Yes, I am.
Not
Yes,
even
I am.
claiming
But
the
I got,
Giants
but,
here.
but I got love. I got love for the Jets and the Giants
You know
because I'm a
I'm
native
from
New
Pittsburgh.
Yorker.
Huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm a high-key Giants fan.
That's
so
right.
A pox on your house.
There you
Stop
go.
it. Get him
Settle
out of
down.
here.
All right, Brandon, I know you've been asked about this, but I need you to explain it here on First Take. So you had a little bet going on with Antonio
bet,
Brown.
a big bet.
Right? What prompted you to do this? Just break it down for everybody, what it was and why you decided to challenge him.
Well, I mean, there's games within the game. Like, we're so blessed to be out here. Look at this amazing day. And, you know, Antonio has really taken the position in the wide receiver game to a whole nother level with Julio Jones and Odell Beckham Jr. And it's just like the music industry, man. There's always going to be someone coming after you. So we're not going to just let him sit on the hill and think that, you know, he's going to be the best year in and year out. So it's just competition. It's all fun.
But what was it? It was for a car?
Well, yeah, well, you know, in the NFL, we have this rule called no gambling.
Okay.
So, you know, we have to work through these details, but it's all for fun. That was just the thing to get it started.
Brandon Marshall. you know how I feel about you, bro. But at the same time, you do know my one criticism about you. You have no credibility when it comes to quarterback. I mean, this guy, any quarterback that's playing with him, he loves them. They're godlike figures. Okay, that's who he is. Okay, so I understand. I like Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Like
I
Ryan?
really, I like Ryan. I like
Ryan,
Ryan.
okay.
But not as much as I like Big Ben Roethlisberger.
I can understand.
So
I get
why
that.
are you making that bet knowing the condition, the handicap that you have? Because even though Ryan Fitzpatrick is good,
Yep.
you're not going to say he's Big Ben, are you?
Well, you got to understand at the wide receiver position, you guys just look at the individual. For a wide receiver to be successful, you do need a quarterback. And I love Ryan Fitzpatrick. I love him.
I knew
You're
you were
right.
gonna say that. I knew you
But then
were
I have
gonna say
Eric
that.
You're not
Decker on the
rooming
other
together,
side.
though.
I have Eric Decker on the other side. We have a stout offensive line, and we have Matt Forte.
Did you just say, I'm
We
sorry.
have Matt Forte.
Hold on.
And what does that mean?
Hold on. Did you-
More single coverage.
Wait a minute.
More
You just said a
single
stout
coverage.
offensive line. Did you just say
Stout.
that? The Brickershaw's gone. Ryan Clady, we got to hope he's healthy. Mangold is about 32 years of age. I mean, Ryan Fitzpatrick, you know, I don't know how much
Listen,
time he
listen
might
to
have
this.
to pass the
Listen
ball.
to this.
Brandon?
It's about stats. You guys love stats on this show. We were 4th in rushing last year. We are number 1 in giving up sacks. I love my offensive line. Come on, man. Do your homework.
I was like, I
Do
did
your
my
homework.
homework.
Look at Matt
was
Forte
last
right
year.
there.
I didn't say that.
Look at Matt Forte.
Brandon, you can spin
Running the ball,
You
catching
can-
the ball in the
You
backfield.
can spin it however you want. Forte's still a useful back, and Eric Decker is fine on the other side. And
Fine?
and- yeah, he's fine.
That's it?
That's it. That's
He
it.
all right. He's all right.
And Fitzpatrick is okay. He had 2 good seasons
Oh,
in the
my
NFL.
gosh.
You are the only elite player at a skills position on offense on your team. Is that or is that not true?
That's false. That's false. Eric Decker isn't elite.
What?
Ryan Fitzpatrick isn't elite. Throwing
No.
for almost 5,000 yards.
No, he is not
31
elite.
touchdowns.
Right.
That's not elite.
Actually,
Put
he
this
threw
man
for
on a lie detector
3,900
test.
yards.
See,
You
you
got to
guys
get to
are going-
4,000 before you get to 5,000.
Nick
okay?
Mangold isn't elite.
I said
Yes, he
skills
is.
position.
He
skills
is.
position.
You just said-
No,
you
and
said
Eric
that.
Decker is not elite. No, and neither is Fitzpatrick. No,
Oh
they are
my
not elite.
gosh.
No one has
Oh my
ever
gosh.
said elite for
They're
those
good.
guys
We'll
ever.
take that.
They're
We'll
good.
take that.
They're good.
We'll take
Brandon.
that. I'll take that.
Speaking of elite, Irv, the playmaker,
Yep.
he called you out and he said that you are a Hall of Famer, no question. What was your reaction hearing Michael Irvin,
Yeah.
the great wide receiver, telling you that you're a Hall of Famer?
Well, I didn't hear it. Actually, I think it was on our website,
Yeah.
our team's website. Man, that's just humbling, especially coming from him. He's a guy that I've always looked up to, a guy that I lean on right now. But, you know, I try to stay away from all of that talk right now because you know, I have a lot of work to do, and I'm not there yet. I'm not even close. Not even close. Can't be mentioned with the greats yet.
Yes, you can, and yes, you are.
No, I wish.
Wait, hold on. Let's listen. Just between you and me, all right? No one's watching for a second. You have to be frustrated on some level in the sense that when you were younger and the bloom was still on the rose and there was all this potential, you were constantly in conversations with the best young receivers in the game. That's a sexy place to be, like right now with Odell Beckham and Julio Jones, and you mentioned Antonio Brown and these guys. Frequently, I hear your name. Even when I'm talking about them, I skip over you, and you are absolutely in that category. And you've done it with quarterbacks in recent years especially who are simply not, as Stephen A. correctly points out, a future Hall of Famer like Ben Roethlisberger. And there is a log jam at the receiver position in voting in terms of a wait list for the Hall of Fame. And you are in the middle of what looks like a Hall of Fame career. It's got to be frustrating on some level for you, Brandon Marshall.
No, well, I would say this. The only thing that's frustrating is that I'm going in year 11, and I haven't been to the playoffs. And every single day I'll walk out on this field, I have one thing in mind, to win the championship. And that takes a lot. It takes a lot from the individual. It takes a lot from the players in the locker room. It takes a lot from the guys upstairs. So I am really pissed off about that. And we were so close last year, but close isn't good enough. But I really feel comfortable with everyone we have here, especially with an elite quarterback and Ryan Fitzpatrick leading the way. You guys had Coach Bowles here. Players mix between Lovie Smith and Bill
18, 20 elite quarterbacks?
Combo of Lovie Smith and Bill Parcells. He snuck that right in there.
I got respect for Ryan Fitzpatrick. But did it ever occur to you, Brandon Marshall, that it may very well be your fault why you end up playing for good quarterbacks as opposed to the great ones, because you're constantly calling them great, and maybe, just maybe, dare I say, Brandon Marshall is not holding quarterbacks accountable enough because you too busy showing them love.
Time out.
You too busy showing them love.
I haven't held any quarterbacks.
No, you gonna get me? You gonna get me started? You gonna tell me you held Jay Cutler? You gonna tell me you held Jay Cutler accountable? Why you did it when you showed up with the New York Jets? When you were in Chicago, you did everything but give him flowers.
I'm a ride with my guys, man. And when it was Jay Cutler, you know, I'm gonna have his back to the end. Ryan Fitzpatrick, same thing. You're right. You know, I'm a team guy, and I really believe in my quarterbacks.
In all seriousness, what role did you play, if any at all, in getting Ryan Fitzpatrick to that one-year deal, to get back here, to get in here in training camp? Because I know it had to drive you crazy, the thought of having this season without him.
It was just simple. It just internally, I just, you know, spoke from the heart and told, you know, the people that, you know, was at the table how I felt about Ryan, and how the team felt about Ryan. That was it. And I just got out the way and did my job, and to be a wide receiver and let them do their job and get the deal done.
Holding account, not just holding accountable, but building up expectations, partly because of like the kind of PR job you did with the media through those years.
You're unbelievable, man.
I mean, last year I heard people picking Jay Cutler to win the MVP.
You mean 2 years ago? 2 years ago.
By the way, in the NFL MVP, not another football league, the NFL MVP. What has people lost their minds? Damn, Brandon Marshall, you should be a publicist when you're done with your NFL.
You know what? And I'll go out on a limb and say this again.
Don't do it.
I truly believe Alshon Jeffrey stays healthy. All right, and then you have Kevin White. If this rookie can come in and catch 55-plus balls, Jay Cutler can be an MVP this year. I truly believe that. You're underdog.
Can I leave?
I believe that.
Can I leave?
There is nothing.
I want to leave. First take right now and take the rest of this. I can't believe you just said that with a straight face.
There is nothing in his past that suggests that could happen.
Jay Cutler, the MVP, really?
Listen, let me tell you why.
Really?
He has all the tangibles.
He's had it for 11 years. Where's that gotten him?
And now,
where's that gotten him?
Even the work ethic.
Listen, sometimes it just takes a little longer. Yes, even the work ethic. This guy has been taking guys all off season to the side, bringing them to his house, bringing them to Nashville.
Oh, we brought him to the house.
Getting extra work in.
And now that I knew he brought him,
Did he pay for that flight? Did he pay for that flight?
I don't think he paid for the flight.
I don't think he paid for the flight.
I thought that like Cam Newton or Aaron Rodgers or Andrew Luck or someone like that was going to win MVP.
No.
But now that I knew that he took people to his house, now it's Jay Cutler.
I'm telling you, go to Vegas right now, but you can't gamble if you're an NFL player.
If my wires were not attached to my seat, I would have walked off this. Jay, Cutler,
You know the
the
fact-
MVP. 11 years this dude has been in the league. Okay, he's made about 2 playoff appearances.
Listen.
He quit in the NFC Championship game. Right, he couldn't work. He couldn't
Stop it.
backpedal in the pocket, but he could pedal
What do
on
you
the
have?
sideline
What do
of
you
a
have? A Jay
bicycle.
Cutler book or something?
I don't need a Jay
Like,
Cutler
how do
book.
you
I got
remember all
of
this
that.
stuff?
I got
Come
all of
on,
that
man.
memorized.
I
It's
wanna
easy.
can
It's
we
easy.
focus
Jay
on you for
Cutler.
1 second,
oh, my
though?
Lord, I can't believe
Brandon,
you.
is it true you dropped 20 pounds on
Yes.
the Bulls diet to get
Yes,
ready? What
Todd
is the
Bowles
Bulls
diet.
diet, and why was that important? How is it going to impact you?
Well, actually, it's called the Sarah Mailman diet, and
Okay.
it's a food sensitivity test where they draw your blood, and our bodies have a chemical reaction with everything we put in our body. And there's a doctor down in Florida that I was introduced to in 2010 by Ricky Williams and Ronnie Brown. And what they do is they take your blood and then they built a menu, a diet specifically for your system. So for me, I can have just plain cabbage steamed and I may gain 2 pounds because my body reacted in a negative way, and that's inflammation. Whereas if I just have some greens or green beans and I can eat as much as I want, and I'll stay right at 225 the next day.
I just figured
I
something
need
out
this
in this
test.
interview. I
want the
figured
test.
something out about you, by the way. Brandon Marshall actually drinks the Kool-Aid because
He dropped 20 pounds.
No. I'll tell you why. Because you have no reason to pump up Jay Cutler anymore. But because you actually drank the Kool-Aid, you're still pumping him up as though he can win
He's just being
MVP.
nice.
You're still
He got
on
him last
that.
year.
Yes.
He just got him
You're
last
still
year.
on
He's
that.
just being nice.
Well,
He's just
listen,
being nice.
Alshon Jeffrey, when healthy, this guy would have probably led the receivers in receiving yards last year
I
if he
figured
stayed
out what
healthy.
you're doing. I know exactly what you're doing. He's looking out for Alshon Jeffrey.
Pay the man.
About Jay Cutler.
Pay
He's
the
looking out
man.
for his boy Alshon
Pay the
Jeffrey.
man. I don't
That's
think-
what he's saying.
Yeah.
That's what he's saying.
I think Alshon
can't be
Jeffrey
Jay
will be
Cutler.
fine.
It can't be Jay
Hey,
Cutler.
Alshon Jeffrey, that's my brother. Pay the man.
Okay,
I'm just
okay.
ready for Alshon just to,
I'm
when
good.
we go out to dinner,
Now
for
you
him to
got
pay
it.
for dinner. That's what I'm looking for.
I'm good. I'm
That's
good.
what I'm looking
I
for.
support you. This is all right. We all right. Because you're looking out for Alshon. He can play.
Okay.
Jay Cutler.
We're done with Cutler now. Can we go to Tom Brady? So
Let's go
in
Tom
your
Brady.
division, he's going to be out 4 games, of course,
Yeah.
getting suspended there for the Deflategate stuff. Did you think that was a fair punishment?
Well, there's 2 things from a player's perspective. One, we're one.
Yeah.
The NFLPA, we got to stick together. So obviously, we want to have a fair process. But on the other hand, there's a competitive edge thing there, and as of right now, we don't have time to deal with that. That's their problem. That's something for them to talk about. We have our own issues and own challenges that we have to work through. So I'm gonna let them deal with that in Foxborough.
All right.
Works for me.
Yep.
Good to see you, bro.
Brandon, sorry you had to
By
put
the
up
way-
with both of them. You
By
guys
the way,
got
guys
your
are-
team
for
today. He getting in
clarification,
there, too.
Tom Brady, elite quarterback.
Elite quarterback.
That's what elite
All
quarterback
right, we'll
looks
see.
like.
All right, so
Yes.
right here,
No,
right
that's
now,
Tom Brady's an elite.
what does Fitzpatrick have to do to be considered an elite quarterback?
How about passing
Playoffs.
for 5,000 yards?
Okay, that's it.
Making the playoffs.
5,000, make the
playoffs.
Make the playoffs.
Playoffs.
Make sure that you're an all-pro.
Okay, done.
And
When
don't
it's
throw
done.
3
When
it's
interceptions
winning,
against
it's winning.
Buffalo.
So
And don't throw
5,000
and don't throw in 3 interceptions against Buffalo.
Playoffs,
No,
done.
gamma rays.
mental
he has to
health
get hit with
awareness
gamma
day.
rays.
Mental health
We love
awareness
that
day.
you
Oh,
do
there it
this.
is.
Got
We
it.
love that you
Got
do
it,
this.
bro.
Put that on.
Right
Yeah, Brandon,
Got it.
I'm shaking your hand
We got
here.
you. We
Thank
got
you.
you.
Always a pleasure. Always
Thank you,
good to
Brandon.
see you. More First Take from Jets Camp
And no 3
in
interceptions
a
against
moment.
Buffalo.
Stay with us here. Darrell Rivas will be joining us. A lot more to get into from Florham Park. Beautiful day. We are having so much fun. These two are... Darrell's already here. Hey, hey. All right, we'll be with him in just a minute.
What's going on? How you doing?